Wow, what a hole. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. We have quite the show coming up for you. First, I'm one of your hosts, Joe. I'm here with my co-host, Brendan.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Brendan.
And we have a guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Mike, and I was not prepared for that intro. Dear Lord.
That's probably one of our best intros in a while.
Holy
That is
shit.
a very nice quote from the movie we watched for this week. The podcast.
Oh my god, it was.
Coming up on the podcast, we got some music and movie news that we're gonna go over. Then we're gonna be discussing the Frank Zappa album "Hot Rats."
That's my favorite kind of rats. Nope.
Ooh,
My favorite kind of rats is bad rats. Continue.
I'm just saying, sexy rats.
I come every time.
Ratatouille. And after we talk about the album, we're gonna talk about the greatest film ever made, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Why didn't you pick the original?
Well, so I originally wanted to do Home Alone 4. Brendan talked me down to Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2
this
has
is
Trump
not a
in it.
joke. I deadass wanted to do one of like the later Home Alone movies.
Oh no, man. Okay, well that's... I don't know if I would have liked that more or less, honestly.
It's direct to video, if that's any indication.
Ooh, okay.
Ow.
Not a great sign.
Never is.
Alright. Well, with that, we can start getting into the podcast.
This is a podcast?
No,
Wow.
it's not. We lied to you.
Did you lie to me every other time too, or is this like unique?
You're in a coma. You've been in a coma for 20 years, Mike. Wake up. Your family misses you.
Again. Actually, just to go wildly off track already, my roommate sophomore year, like half of the people we knew were convinced that he wasn't a real person. Like, we would get lunch together in the dining hall, but like because Isom never ate anything there, like their theory was that he was just like a collective hallucination.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This is a good theory, I have to say. Prove them wrong, Mike.
We should call
Do
Matt
it.
that. Have him.
Oh my god, it would be such a game theory. Then we can have heated gamer moments. Anyway, first up in music news, I thought this was pretty cool. Thing. Kid Cudi, he announced "Man on the Moon" #3.
Cool.
The third album, which I think is actually a pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see what kind of style he goes for on this record.
First Armstrong, then Aldrin, and now Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
He's the third man on the moon.
All three of them.
All three of them. There was no one else.
Yes. Next up in music news, Bad Bunny has made history as his newest album is the first Spanish language album to get #1 on the Billboard 200.
Damn!
It's really impressive. It's really cool.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised.
I know.
Honestly,
it seems
I'm kind of surprised
like
that K-pop made it before like reggaeton.
Yeah, it feels like reggaeton has been like a very big element in pop for the past few years. I'm surprised it took this long for something to actually reach #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that, like, we're racist. We want people speaking English, like the Queen.
BTS doesn't really speak
in
English.
America.
BTS got #1 before.
Yeah.
This, so
yeah, but like
our K-pop stands too powerful.
Honestly.
Dude, what if K-pop stands had K-pop stands, like JoJo style? That was fucking terrible. Kick me off this podcast, Jesus.
Oh man. Anyway, next in music news, Chicago rapper G Herbo is facing federal charges including aggravated identity theft and aiding and abetting a larger fraud scheme.
Wait. What is the difference between aggravated identity theft and standard identity theft?
I don't know.
He was a little bit upset while he was doing it.
Apparently.
The 14-count indictment alleges that Herbo was involved in a defrauding scheme alongside 8 other defendants. Among the defendants is alleged ringleader Antonio Tiglo Strong, identified in court in the court documents as promoter
really
and manager of rappers, particularly those in the Chicago area.
That can't be a real name.
Other charges included are wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and more.
That sounds like the name of my Adventure Time OC Do Not Steal.
Damn.
That's honestly like, don't do fraud, kids, but that's really funny, not gonna lie.
Right?
Yeah. Next, I had to include this. Greta Van Fleet.
The best band
They got a
since
new
Led
album.
Zeppelin.
My
It's coming
God.
April 16th. This is really early to announce a new album.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
whoa, yeah.
It's like, what, 5 months?
Yeah. Man, do you like Led Zeppelin? Because I enjoy Led Zeppelin. I don't enjoy Greta Van Fleet though.
So yeah, we're I'm really excited for this new Greta Van Fleet project. I've absolutely loved their last couple projects. Greta Van Fleet, just cutting edge music.
Cutting it.
Do you remember when they were nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys?
Yes. They didn't win.
Funniest.
But
I really wish they won because it would have been the funniest thing.
oh my god.
That would have been a Grammy moment.
Heated
really
Grammy
would've.
moment.
Heated Grammy moments.
Yeah.
The best, least shady award show. Everything's legit there.
Yeah. All right. Finally, in music news, this is probably the biggest story of the week in music. Chance the Rapper's ex-manager has sued him for millions, and he has also trashed the big day.
What can you trash about the big day though? It's so good. There's this one song called Hot Shower.
His manager calls it a lackluster album that resulted in historically low ticket sales.
Wait, so he's suing his former client because his album was shit?
No, because he was unjustly fired, I believe. So he says, I don't know if he was unjust. Wait. So him and his lawyers allege that Chance has violated an oral agreement wherein he agreed to pay him 15% of his net profits. He also claims that he's owed over $2.5 million of unreimbursed expenses supporting and promoting Chance's career.
Okay, so then are the receipts also verbal receipts? Like, how the hell do you prove a verbal agreement in court?
I don't know about that. I do know that verbal agreements can be enforced.
Yes.
I just don't know how you go about actually doing that. I assume there's probably like text messages or something.
Maybe.
Communication in that way.
Or just like spit shake.
Yes.
That's legally binding.
But yeah, I mean,
apparently the agreement was honored until April 2020. So this has been a deal that happened and then I guess was stopped.
Huh. That is weird.
Yeah.
Wait, when was he fired?
April 2020 was when Chance terminated the agreement.
So he stopped paying him because he fired him.
Yes.
What a court case.
Wow. He basically, his manager alleges that he's owed over $3 million in commissions from like streaming sales and stuff.
Fair enough, I guess. Jesus.
Yeah, man. Man.
I mean, that's a lot of money. Like, it makes sense that he's suing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But
he apparently...
how could Chance the Rapper possibly be a bad guy? He did a really cool cover of the Arthur theme song that one time.
He also made Hot Shower, so
yeah.
You know.
Fair point.
Yeah, definitely. Apparently, I mean, like, his manager is also, I believe, pretty vocal about the big day being bad. Him being like, no, like, stop. And I mean, I have to say that Chance's behavior makes me, past behavior makes me believe that he's very much, he only likes having like yes men around, essentially. You can see the way he like responded to people reacting to the big day on Twitter, which I can understand. You put a lot into an album and people are like, this is garbage. It might hurt, but also like maybe listen to criticisms of your album sometimes.
Exactly the point, which is why I'm currently writing 5 death threats to reviewers who did not give Cyberpunk a 10 out of 10, because their criticism deserves criticism, and also death threats.
I mean, I think it's fair to criticize people's reviews if you disagree with them, but don't send death threats. Please don't send death threats.
We don't endorse death threats here.
Sending death threats is not very poggers.
You're never coming back.
Hey.
Good.
Yeah. Let's move on to movie news. Because the first story is one of the funniest fucking things.
Let's fucking go.
So Lifetime has announced they're putting out a new film called A Recipe for Seduction. It's coming out December 13th, and it is presented by KFC.
Oh, hell yes!
It's so good. I can't wait to see this.
Mario Lopez plays Colonel Sanders in the film.
It keeps getting better.
Oh my god, I am so ready. This looks hilarious.
It's gonna be the best.
I just confused Mario Lopez with George Lopez as Colonel Sanders, which would have been even better.
Absolutely. Man, this is, sometimes you just know something's a masterpiece before you even see it. Like, you just see the poster for it. Actually, I'll post.
Like Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, for example. You see Macaulay Culkin's face on the poster, you know, gold.
It's gonna be cinema gold.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah, I just think this is gonna be the greatest movie of all time. Not gonna lie. Actually, the second greatest movie of all time. I'm sorry. The greatest movie of all time is Big Time Movie.
This is true. This is true.
The boys of Big Time Rush go on a wonderful adventure.
Dude, I ironically loved that show in like middle school though.
It's a good show, legitimately good show. It's very fun.
I think it's by the guys who did Ned's Declassified, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. Next movie news. Oscar Isaac has been cast as Solid Snake
Yep.
in the Metal Gear movie, which actually I think is a pretty good fit, honestly. I think that works. He kind of got that look.
He got that ass.
Yeah, but like, is he gruff enough?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't like.
Yeah.
I still feel like he's like
Well, actually,
a bit of a wisecracky lad.
I guess I don't know. I think he. I don't know. I think he's a great actor. I think
Absolutely.
it'll work. It does depend. I do think there maybe were better choices for the role, but I think he can make it work for sure. He's apparently been lobbying for this for a while. So
okay, fucking go for it. I mean, I will say. So there've been like a whole rash of video game movies lately. Like they're making a comeback, and MGS is one of the first that like makes sense to make a movie out of.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
usually it's for like really story light franchises. Whereas MGS, especially 4, is more movie than game.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know. Do we know if Kojima's involved in this at all?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Right, he doesn't have the IP.
He doesn't have the
Konami,
IP, and he's Konami are assholes. So, yeah. I don't actually know. We can look into this further to see who's actually involved in this project.
I would assume that not much has really been confirmed yet.
Probably. Because I don't know, depending on the director, it could be good. That's like most movies, though.
Yo, dude, what if we got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Otacon?
That would be, man.
I would honestly love that.
Can we have Hobbs and Shaw 2, but it's just a Metal Gear Solid movie?
I thought Hobbs and Shaw already was a Metal Gear Solid movie. Wait. Confused.
Damn.
Or like, okay, you know who would unironically like I would dig as Otacon? That feels like a perfect goddamn Michael Cera character. Am I wrong?
He could pull it off.
Like, if any actor were to piss themselves in a locker while being attacked by ninjas, it would be Michael Cera.
Yeah. I should mention, apparently the director is Jordan Vogt Roberts. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. But he directed Kong Skull Island. So.
Oh.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Time to find out how much of Kong Skull Island was this guy's fault.
Alright. Next, in very cool story, Mike, me and you talked about this yesterday. Do you know Black Panther?
I do.
You know the girl who says, "What are those?" in Black Panther?
Yes, Shuri.
Yeah.
She's an anti-vaxxer.
Hell yeah, she is. Also, her actress is almost like 30, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
And like, she went off on Twitter the other day. God bless her. She started by posting like just a bunch of anti-vax shit, the usual, and then it started trending because people were like, "Wait a minute, isn't this Black Panther's little sister? What the fuck?" And so then a bunch of people were like tweeting at her and at Disney, cancel Black Panther 2, which it frankly should be out of respect to Mr. Boseman, God rest his soul, or like recast Shuri. And then in a bizarre moment of she started retweeting all of them. Like,
that's an interesting strategy.
Yeah, more power to her. But like, not so much power that she can enforce her crazy anti-vax stuff. But like, power. Woo.
Yeah. Wow. What a wonderful
What a wonderful what, Joe?
What a wonderful life we have. You know? Great, amazing. In positive news, Elliot
wasn't
Page
positive?
has come out as transgender. Wow.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
Great, fuck yeah to him. And also, I think it's very nice how positive the general response was for it. I mean, there's like the Ben Shapiro and other dumbasses.
Hold on, can I bring up the bench title of that while you're talking?
Oh yeah, so oof.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm really happy with how positive the general reception to this was. I think if this happened like a couple of years ago, it wouldn't have gone over nearly as well. But like it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so he put out this especially unhinged video on his channel, with the title, apologies in advance for me repeating his inappropriate bad words. Actress Ellen Page declares she is a man named Elliot. So, like, he goes out of his way to dead name and misgender her, like, repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's like that one time when he was on some terrible morning talk show with a trans actress from Orange is the New Black, right?
Yeah.
And he uses female pronouns to refer to her because, like, she's a woman. You look at her, you're like, yep, them's a woman. And he's just like, he uses the correct pronouns, then catches himself and repeats his statement with the wrong pronouns just to be a douche.
Yeah. Man.
He is a national treasure.
Benny Boy, what a piece of work. Yeah. Cool.
He was a master at violin.
Apparently, dude, all music is bad except for Mozart. Especially rap and the Beatles.
Rap? Okay, apparently. The thing is, rap isn't music, you idiot. Music needs to have harmony, melody, and rhythm, right? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Rap doesn't have
definitely
melody
how music's
or harmony.
Okay, now let me be clear. Okay, does rap have rhythm? Yes. Okay, I will grant you that. But let's talk hypothetically, right? Does rap have melody? Some might, but that's maybe for the chorus potentially. But most of it is just it's fast talking. It's like what I'm doing now, but good. I lost it. I can't keep that up.
Oh man. God damn.
I hate that little gremlin.
All right. Well, let's move on from Mr. Benny Boy, because we got an album to talk about.
Mr.
You don't say. On the Bop Stop?
It's whoa.
We've only talked about albums every week.
Yeah. When have we actually talked about albums, man? It's never.
Well, there was that one time you dissed the best album ever made, Humans.
That's that's true. That was a moment of weakness. Okay, that does not represent who we are. But yeah, the album for this week was Hot Rats by Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa, of course, pretty legendary musician, multi-instrumentalist, just insane man.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hot Rats is his second solo album. It was released in October of 1969.
Nice.
And yeah, it's Frank Zappa's, or this album, I guess, is like kind of. It's hard to describe. I'd say it's kind of avant-garde, progressive, jazz rock almost.
Yeah, jazz rock, kind of a little funk in there.
It's such an interesting combination of genres.
Absolutely.
What did everyone think?
Okay, so this album, kind of like a lot of jazz albums, especially from like this time and earlier, like a lot of bebop era stuff, is really hard to talk about track by track.
Yeah.
Just because, like, how do I put this? If you like played two different songs from this album, I could very easily tell them apart. They're not like, it's not like 40 minutes of the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Rather, because it all comes at you so quickly, because it is so heavy on improvisation, when one track becomes the next, it's a little harder to catch.
Yeah, definitely. It feels very cohesive as a project.
Yeah.
Stuff kind of just flows into each other really well.
The one track you'll always know it's starting is fucking Willie the Pimp. Holy shit.
Yes. Willie the Pimp has vocals from Mr. Captain Beefheart himself.
Yes.
Which are very
what a beefy boy.
Yeah, they're very. It's very clear. You will hear them.
Yes.
Very clearly. Man, this is such just an interesting like combination of all these genres. Like I don't know, like for example, on like Peaches and Regalia, the opening track, you have these like wonderfully rich and vibrant horns on them.
And don't forget the synth at the end of that track.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just the timbre of that sounds like something from like a decade later. It's a strange sound for this kind of album.
Oh yeah, definitely. This album feels very ahead of its time. I'd say this is an album that I think you could. There's very few albums where like you can play them and like you don't really know what decade it came out in.
No,
like
not
off
at
the
all.
top of your head. This is like almost there for me because of just how well produced it is, and also just how much it does with its sound in a way that I think most other rock records at the time really didn't.
Yeah.
It's super unique. I love you have like Willie the Pimp. You just have like this like super long period of I mean I'm guessing it's improvisation.
Yeah.
But it's super like catchy and groovy, but it also doesn't fall into like it doesn't. It's very distinct from other bands that were kind of coming up at the time. Like I can like very easily distinguish this from other artists and acts.
Oh yeah. Brendan, you've been a quiet motherfucker. What do you think of this album, man?
Oh, I mean I really like this album. It's got a lot of really neat, interesting, kind of crazy sounds. You can definitely tell, like, so Frank Zappa worked, he produced the Trap Mass Replica, which came out, like, just before this album. It was recorded before this album, and I feel like definitely he took some things from Trout Mass Replica and put them to use here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This, it sounds way less This is way more listenable than Trout Mask Replica because this sounds like really good. Not that Trout Mask Replica sounds bad; it's just weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like the experimentation and the improvisation on a lot of these tracks is really, really great. It sounds really good. My favorite track is easily the Gumbo Variations, which is this 13-minute long song. It just keeps going and going and building more, and I just love it.
Yeah. Pretty much all the tracks on this album are super long, but they always feel. Well, I mean, I guess there's a couple shorter ones.
I was gonna say, like, you have like 3-minute songs next to 10-minute songs just on this album.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's really interesting because it never feels. It never feels like it's staying in one place for too long. It's constantly changing and evolving.
Well, I mean, part of that is So I'm actually not super familiar with Frank Zappa's line of work, but I have a amateurish, I guess, background in some jazz stuff, and this reminded me way less of prog rock or even like jazz fusion. It felt a lot like bebop to me, and people who know jazz better than me are probably going to say I'm a dingus, and that is completely fair, but bebop is a genre of jazz that is marked by fast tempo, heavy emphasis on improvisation, really complex chord progressions. And because of that, it's kind of almost hard music to keep track of. You actually have to like be thinking to. You have to actively be thinking about what you're listening to like fully comprehend what's going on. You know.
Yeah.
You can let it fade into the background, but then you just lose so much, and this definitely feels like that.
Yeah.
I'd fuck it. I'd fuck this album, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, these raps are pretty hot, so.
I'm going to buy this album on vinyl and put my pee-pee in it, and you can't stop me.
That was
I
kind
think you
of
should
upsetting,
quit
not
while
gonna
you're
lie.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. Man.
Wait, you would also fuck this album?
Oh, wait, no, it's
Now,
I agree about it being
hypothetically, if I were to purchase this album from the local youth record shop, such as Bull Moose in Massachusetts, I would, for the sake of argument, take the vinyl out of the sleeve and shove my. No, I'm done. I can't.
Hypothetically,
I can't.
if
Your
Frank
penis
Zappa
can
were
fit
to send
in
me
it?
feet pics. Alright.
What do you guys think inspired the name Hot Rats, huh?
He saw bad rats?
The game?
Yes.
No, personally, I actually think that my personal headcanon is that Frank Zappa was actually a big fan of the 2000 film Ratatouille, starring Patton Oswalt, directed by Brad Bird. And he saw Remy's brother Emil's like juicy ass, right? And he's like, "That's an album. That's an album right there. That's a hit."
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know more, you can visit my page on Archive of to read more about it.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
The Pixar theory just got a little bit bigger. Yeah. I have to say, as someone who's generally, a lot of the time, I find I'm very lukewarm on a lot of like '60s, like late '60s rock. It kind of has, I guess, more specifically, what the I forget the name of the genre. The sound that like Cream and like the Doors have.
Like psychedelic rock.
Yeah, psychedelic rock. Kind of like, I don't know. It's like sort of bluesy. That kind of style, I guess, that appeared in the late '60s. I'm generally not super hot on, but even though I feel like this shares some qualities with that, like those qualities in this, the kind of like the rough guitars, and like just like the production on it, I don't know, it just works like really well. Like that, those the qualities of like a lot of '60s rock that I don't enjoy, I just they don't affect this album.
Mm-hmm.
I like this album
Okay.
a lot. It's hard to describe. I just find a lot of the time that the '60s rock can get very I don't know.
I'll admit, like, I find
Heavy.
that Cream can be like a bit one note, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. It's kind of one note, and like even though some of the kind of groovy qualities are still present in this album, like they're just like blended so well with everything else. It's not a problem for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, this album does a lot to like separate out from, I think, most of the rock of the time.
Yeah.
And doing things like bringing in those jazz elements that Mike was talking about really helps with that, I think.
It really feels like a jazz album with rock instrumentation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Man. This album's great. Really great.
Well, Joe,
Thanks, Brendan.
how great would you say this album is on a scale from 1 to 10?
Ooh, on a scale from 1 to 10, I like. Honestly, I need to give the album more listens. I still have. There's still. I feel like I need to like dive into it even more than I already have. But like, right now I'm like at a 9.5 personally. It could move up to a 10 honestly, because this album just is so engaging and like original.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Yeah, good, amazing.
Wow.
Good.
Okay. I personally like this album a lot. I'm at more around like an 8.5 to a 9 though. I think that some of the shorter tracks, like Little Umbrellas, for example, there's not like as much going on those tracks as there is on like Willie the Pimp or Son of Mr. Green Jeans, where these longer tracks, they have like a lot more going on. They have a lot of build to them, which is what I really like. You don't get that on the shorter tracks.
See, I actually really like the short tracks, and I actually feel like they stood out to me more, except for Willie the Pimp, just because, my god, that opening is iconic. But still, I'm kind of in the same boat as Brendan. I'd give this a strong 8.5. It's a Gucci Gang album.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
When was the last time someone said that?
That
wasn't me.
Gucci Gang review when? How are we gonna review Gucci Gang?
Oh, now you have to do it.
It's kind of a fire song, not gonna lie.
I like Gucci Gang. Don't get me
Lil
wrong,
Pimp's-
but like Lil Pump, his moment is
A
past.
Lil Pimp, he had some bangers in him.
If he ever drops another album, I'm sure we'll talk about it. But
Remember that time Lil Pimp and Kanye West were blocks?
Yo,
Yes.
that was pretty sick.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh man.
Uh,
Wow.
okay.
Cool. That was our discussion on Hot Rats. It's very hard to talk about the album, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot to
There's a
dive
lot
into.
going on.
And honestly, I don't think we're
not qualified.
We're not knowledgeable enough on this kind of genre of music to really talk about it in a ton of depth. But like,
why the fuck are you listening to this podcast, fellas? Like,
also, we don't really play like instruments. Like Mike does, he plays piano.
Hello.
But even then, I don't think there's any piano on this album. So, I mean, there's synth.
Well, actually, there's.
I mean,
like, there's like I think organ at one point.
There's I mean, okay. So I'm specifically trained in jazz piano, not classical. So like, the stuff is applicable, but I'm also bad at it. So,
yeah. Like I feel if like any of us played like guitar or like saxophone or something like this, we could pick out those elements from this album.
I mean, the theory's all the same. It's just dense. It is a dense fucking album that like, and being reminiscent of bebop, like that's already like a dense fucking genre, you know?
Yeah.
Like I can tell you that Goodbye Pork Pie Hat by Charles Mingus is a fucking banger, but I can't tell you why.
Damn.
I mean, I can tell you Hacker by Death Grips is a fucking banger, but I can't tell you why.
Alright. Speaking of bangers.
Home Alone 2 Lost in New York?
Uh-huh!
We watched Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, and it's so good. It makes me want to die.
Frankly, I think that Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is Joe Pesci's single greatest dramatic performance. Like, it makes for a truly poggers film, as the kids say.
Goodfellas, eat your heart out.
Oh boy.
All right, let's talk about this. First of all, okay, for those of you who don't know, Home Alone 1, it's a Christmas time classic. I feel like if we ever, if you were in school and it was like the last week of school before December break, all the teachers would put on either Home Alone or Elf. I saw those movies so many times. Spoilers for next week, we're reviewing Elf.
Oh no. Oh fuck yeah!
But like the first Home Alone is like it's a great movie. It's fun. You got Macaulay Culkin in his breakout role, right?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, what he said.
His only known role.
He legally changed
pretty much his
middle
only
name
role
to his full name.
That's so good.
He was on the Eric Andre show.
Oh yeah.
He was on the Eric Andre show.
Oh, season 5?
Yeah. He's not a guest. One of the guests Eric has on at the end, he's like, "Hey, has anyone ever told you look like Macaulay Culkin?" And then Macaulay Culkin comes out in like a leather bodysuit with a chainsaw and runs at the guest. It's hilarious.
It's so good.
Oh, that's so good. I love it.
But anyways, first Home Alone, great. Would recommend. It's a fun Christmas movie, and it does, it's a good time. Home Alone 2 is just Home Alone 1, but worse. It repeats so much stuff from the first Home Alone, but it's just like I've already seen this before, and it's just done worse. He's just also in New York now.
So I
have seen. I'm sorry, Joe. This is important.
Okay.
Because I'm better than you.
Damn.
Anyway, so weirdly enough, for some goddamn reason, I have seen Home Alone 2 so many times in my life, right? Mostly as a kiddo. This is the first time I've seen it in years. I've never seen the original. I've only seen Home Alone 2.
I've never seen Home Alone 2 until this week.
Oh, wasn't it wonderful?
Hey, I've also never seen the original.
So I'm out here talking about how good the original is, and you guys don't even know. You don't even know.
Don't even know.
Get fucked.
I hope the acting is better than the original. Macaulay Culkin does a really bad job in this film. Even
he's
as
not
like a
okay.
child
He's still like Macaulay Culkin in the original is the thing.
Like,
Joe Pesci and the other guy are definitely better though.
Yeah.
The way Macaulay Culkin delivers his line, like the lines that are given, he's supposed to be like, he's kind of like a know-it-all, sort of, almost. He's really smart, you know. He can outsmart the dumb bad guys, but he doesn't. He has like no charisma at all. So his delivery is just like, what?
See, for me, it's like he speaks every line like Ferris Bueller when he's talking to the camera.
Yes, sort of.
I get that.
But with
there
less
was a
personality.
Well, yeah. Because, like, Matthew Broderick is a god amongst men. But I think the point still stands. Like, we're nitpicking a child actor, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, like, fuck.
I mean, I think it's fair to criticize. I mean, like, don't be mean to them because they're children.
Yeah.
But definitely,
Yeah.
I think it's fair to criticize child actors, especially since there's some really good child actors out there.
Yeah. Like, whoever played Laura in Logan.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm like,
what was her name? Macaulay Culkin?
Yes, Macaulay Culkin. Do you remember when Macaulay Culkin played Danny in The Shining? He did really good.
I do.
So what I think we're saying is that
Okay,
Macaulay Culkin is the only good child actor, right?
Yes,
correct.
definitely.
Good. Glad we're all
Speaking
on
of
the
good
same
actors, there's a whole lot of just great direction choices. Chris Columbus.
Yeah, Chris Columbus. Columbus, Jesus fuck.
Best known for making the bad Harry Potter movies.
They're not that bad. They're a good intro.
The first one's alright. I hold that Chamber of Secrets is kind of garbo.
I like Chamber of Secrets more than the first one, honestly.
You guys are forgetting
That's
that he
fine.
also directed Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. So.
He did also do that. He's had a very hit in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyway, like, okay. Movie's full of a bunch of weird directing choices, like when everybody sleeps, and the parents get out of bed.
Yes.
The footage is sped up like 3
yeah.
times as they scramble to each other, right?
Sorry.
As a film major, okay.
I just want to say one thing. I think because there's a lot of things in Home Alone 2 that are like callbacks to Home Alone 1. And I feel like that's something, because like that was kind of like a thing in Home Alone 1, so I feel like they're just calling back, but going through it quicker, so you don't have to like suffer through it all again, I guess. It's weird. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong, but...
See, I disagree. It looked to me like they were trying to do like a cartoonish, like... Okay, the way the scene is blocked, right? You get the people in bed, camera straight on. Both parents get out of bed, opposite side, run to the front of the bed, face each other, yell something like "we overslept" or whatever, and like it's supposed to be a cartoonish. But because of the way Chris Columbus decided to block the actors' movements, there was no way in hell to do it fast. So it's like, we will speed up the footage and nobody will notice.
I definitely think like it was meant to be noticed. I don't think...
Yeah, but
it was meant to look terrible though, and that is what it ends up doing.
Well, yeah, because it just looks amateurish, you know? Speaking of amateurish, the way the screenplay behaves in like the opening section when they're still home but not yet alone, every single like little thing, it's like, okay, this is set up for a trap that the kid's gonna set later on, like really obvious telegraphing, you know? Like there's foreshadowing, and then there's pointing a giant fuck up neon sign to the douchey uncle in the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. It's like... Can I just say this movie was really fucking boring? Like, that was my
No, you
takeaway
can't.
from it, was just, like, fuck, damn. Damn it, man.
You can be wrong.
But yeah, no, this film was really boring to me. I literally, like, got the news ready while I watched it because I just lost interest. There's, like, so many, like, weird things that happen, though. Like, there's the pigeon woman. She has
Yes.
pigeons. And Macaulay Culkin, with her help, he befriends her, and then with her help, with the power of pigeons, they defeat the bad guys.
The sticky
Correct.
bandits.
Well,
Yummy.
Yum yum. I mean, it's more like he's about to win, and then there's like a Diabolus Ex Machina where like he slips on the ice and we're gonna shoot you in the fucking face, kid. And then there's a Damon Ex Machina where like Pigeon Lady comes up and like, and Marv is just like, hey boss, there's a lot of pigeons here. What's going on? And then Pigeon Lady is like, sick 'em.
Oh fuck.
That's it. It's like a weird like. They invented that scenario comes out of nowhere, just so they can have an excuse for the Pigeon Lady to save the day.
Yeah.
You sorry, this is like a side note, but you brought something up that's like really odd. So in Home Alone 2, it's like oddly really dark. Like they are very much like threatening to kill Macaulay Culkin. Like in the first Home Alone, they're just like trying to rob empty houses. That's all they're doing. They're not like trying to hurt anybody or anything like that. Like sure they're like seen as like kind of tough and rough dudes, but we never see them like really be that dangerous. But here, like they literally have a gun and are like going to shoot Macaulay Culkin in the head if they get the chance. It's like whoa. Hold up there. This is Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Like, calm down.
Right. And, like, you can kind of understand the decision to do... So, it was a dumb idea to... The whole movie was a dumb idea.
It's an attempt to up the stakes, essentially.
Okay, no, there was one really good idea where they have that
yeah,
one
because,
scene...
like, in the first movie, the stakes are, like... They're gonna break into my house and steal my shit while I'm home alone! Kiddo, I gotta protect myself. Whereas, in Home Alone 2, Macaulay Culkin seeks out the villains just so he can feel better about himself.
They're gonna steal money that was gonna be donated to a children's hospital.
Couldn't he have just called the police and been like, "There's a robbery happening here," and then they would have shown up and caught them in the middle of it?
He drags it out really long because like he breaks the window, right, and then leads them to the house. Like he breaks the window to set off the alarm, but doesn't call the cops until after he beats the shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of time where he's just sitting and waiting for them.
Yeah. Man. Can we also talk about the hotel people?
Yeah, that was like the weirdest thing that I was not expecting.
As like villains, essentially, and they just like get this kid for like credit card theft, and it's like he's 10. If you're worried about him, call the police and check to see if he's missing or something.
Yeah, they have no reason to be such a dick to this kid. It's like the concierge sees some kid going to check in by himself, and he's like,
Sus.
This kid is trouble. He's gonna fuck up my hotel.
His thought is not, hey, let's check to see if he's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the idea is that he's worried about Macaulay Culkin ruining his hotel's reputation.
Does he have like a reputation or something already? Because like it's not.
Well, I mean, it's the Plaza Hotel. It's a big dick place.
Yeah, Donald Trump was there in the movie.
Trump was there.
Donald Trump was there.
He fucking, after Macaulay Culkin gets directions from him, Trump takes a look at Macaulay Culkin's dumpy. I'm sorry. He looks back and he just stares for a couple of seconds.
Yeah,
like,
you should interpret it that way. Well, he's confused why a kid is asking directions to the lobby, I think, like without any parents. But anyways, like nobody in this movie acts like a person, I feel. Like,
yeah.
The closest thing you get is like the cop that his parents are like being like, our kid's lost, and the cop's like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll let you know. Like, yeah, I get that, but like,
yeah, he's like, have you already filed a report? Yes. What do you want me to do, lady? This is New York, goddamn city. You went missing how many days ago?
Oh, can
3?
Can we also mention how like convoluted the like to get Macaulay Culkin to New York and have him be lost? It is like the most convoluted shit.
Yes.
Macaulay Culkin wants batteries for his Walkman, essentially, or record video.
It's a like
sound recorder.
Yeah, it's a tape recorder.
Yeah.
So in the middle of walking with his family, he stops to put the batteries in, as if he couldn't just do that on the plane. Like, why does he feel the need to do it while he's walking?
I mean, to be fair, that one I will excuse it for, like, it's one of the few places where, like, he acts like a kid.
I guess that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
But his parents don't act
did
like
I lose
parents.
Connection to the podcast?
No,
you're still here. You're good.
No.
What?
Okay, you guys completely froze on my end and then just talked really, really fast to catch up.
Oh yeah. Also,
no.
I want to say, like, watching that scene nowadays, like in our post 9/11 world, that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, airports, you cannot do that in airports in the U.S. anymore.
Yeah, it's like that old cliche where, you know, you get the at the end of the rom-com, the two people meet up at the airport gate right before one of them's leaving for their new Paris.
Yep.
And they make the fuck out. Oh, you know what? There is another person who acts like an adult. It's that poor flight attendant who, like, bumps into this kid. The boarding pass is getting mixed up, and she's like, shit, what do I do? Hey, boss, come on the plane. And he's like, yeah, okay, just make sure he's with his dad. And, like, she's like, do you see your dad? And he's like, yeah, over there. Points to the back of some random asshole. And this busy-ass lady's like,
good enough.
Okay, great. I gotta do job now.
Like, honestly, if I was that
like,
flight attendant, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, like she's trying to do the right thing while also like, boy, I do not have time to do the right thing right now. Fuck this kid. Fuck Macaulay Culkin. He can sit in the airport.
Wow.
Wait, hold on.
We got
There's
more.
something very important we do need to discuss.
Yeah.
The scene right after Macaulay Culkin is chased out of the Plaza Hotel, and he finds all of the very scary, very frightening. Oh no!
Oh, you're back.
Speed.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, you were in and out.
There I am.
The whole thing.
How much?
Once you're
the entire thing again.
Yeah, that's fair. So right after he gets chased out of the hotel, he's like alone on the streets of New York, Home Alone on the streets of New York, if you would. And my God, there are all these terrifying homeless people. Oh, the terror and like
and
they're shot with like low Dutch angles and like using creepy voices and are the aggressive friggin' kid.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
and the hookers.
The hookers are like, you want us to read you a bedtime story? It's like, what?
That was probably
You're making fun of a kid.
I will say though, like, imagine like if you're a kid alone on the streets of New York City, homeless people are probably going to be scary to you. Like, to be fair, I don't think it was wise for the movie to like portray it the way that they did.
Yeah,
but like I kind of understand what they're trying to go for.
I mean, the reason I don't is because how do I phrase this? Home Alone 2 works on 90s children's movie logic, where all the kids are really smart and all the adults are comically stupid, except for like the one or two nice ones, right?
Yeah.
Like they're stupid and mean and hate children for like no reason, and it seems like they are. It just seems like these homeless people work on that same logic.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah. But do we want to go into like the classism of the Home Alone movies?
Yes.
It does.
Yes, please.
They do tend to portray lower class citizens as bad guys and higher class citizens as the good guys. So
yeah,
that's cool, I guess. I want to say though, okay, one thing that gets me. So Macaulay Culkin, right? He's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, right? His mom is a redhead and his dad has brown hair, brown eyes. I think they got the wrong kid at the hospital, and that's the first time they lost their kid. Okay.
Oh boy.
This will be earth-shattering to the Home Alone cinematic universe.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
You say Home Alone cinematic universe.
What's your favorite?
Only the first two Home Alone films exist in the same canon. Every other film is self-contained, featuring a different kid. So, write that down.
Okay, look. We'll link them somehow. All right.
It's Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci's got to be in all of them.
It's the HACU. Like, come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say these films are This film was just really boring to me. Most of the time, I was just like, "Oh, okay. This is Oh." Oh well.
I don't think that came through. It might have, but Mike unfortunately just disconnected. We hope to have him back in a moment.
Internet cramping out. In the meantime, I will say I just find this movie to be incredibly boring. There's a lot of scenes that are just like they're like Christmas. It's Christmas time, and this is a Christmas movie, so we need to be like be kind to people, like, or whatever. It's like the scene in like the toy store where like they're like he's talking to the guy who owns it or whatever.
Yep.
And it's just like I don't give a shit.
But it's Christmas time. It's time for giving,
and all the money is going to charity.
Yeah.
And you just have like so many scenes that I'm just like I don't care about this at all. Like it's just boring. Oh, Mike's back.
We're talking about how boring Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is. But how can it be boring with that scenic New York?
That's true. You got the scene where he goes to the Twin Towers, and tea on top of them. Wow.
Shout outs to things that don't really work after 9/11.
Have any of you guys seen the Super Mario Brothers movie?
No.
Thankfully, no.
Okay, well, I want to spoil just one bit for you, if I may. So, the Super Mario Brothers movie came out in 1993. There's this one point where it's near the climax, and the Koopa world is invading the human world, and the worlds are sort of combining into one. And there's this one shot of the Twin Towers, like, fading away, like being Thanos snapped away, essentially. And it aged well, I guess, in a sense.
Like a fine wine. Brendan, you know the song by Weezer, Say It Ain't So?
I do.
Yeah, that.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
But
Hold on. You should, like March 31st, when, like, Nintendo, like, gets rid of all the Mario 35th anniversary things, that week, you need to do your podcast on the Mario movie.
oh, man.
Oh, man. The Mario movie's like, I've seen it once. I don't know if I ever need to see it again.
It's quite the film.
It is. It's also
it actually
like,
killed the career of
Ron
who's the
Jeremy.
guy who played Bowser.
Oh,
he's actually not called Bowser because they didn't get the
Okay,
licensing
no.
for that. He's
Koopa.
just called King Koopa.
King Koopa.
I don't.
fuck. Who is?
Well, that's also what he's called in the. That's his Japanese name. Bowser's U.S. only.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper.
But the guy. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's who played King Koopa.
Okay. Yeah. He was. He was
in
the villain in
Apocalypse
Blade
Now.
Runner. Like.
No. That's Rutger Howard, right?
Rutger Howard. Yeah, that movie killed Rutger Howard's career.
Rutger Howard's not in the Mario Bros. Movie.
Oh.
It's Dennis Hopper. Who's the villain?
Hey, fellas, have you ever heard of the Mandela effect?
Frank, yeah. Dennis Hopper, he's I don't know who he plays in Apocalypse Now. He's someone in Apocalypse Now. He's the main villain in Blue Velvet.
He's also the narrator for the Gorillaz track, Fire Coming Out of the Monkey's Head.
Damn.
Is he?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what? Because I was wrong about Bowser, I'm going to check that right now, but I'm fairly certain.
Mandela Effect Part
Luckily, I
2.
have my box of vinyls right next to my desk. Dennis Hopper! Fire Coming Out of the Monkey's Head, read by Dennis Hopper. Get fucked, Brendan.
Yeah.
I don't think he was disagreeing. He was just being like, he was just...
I didn't know.
No, yeah.
Can we talk about the Home Alone part of Home Alone 2? Because I will admit, when they're breaking into the house, there's a couple good gags. The part where whoever, I forget the name, not Joe Pesci, the other
Marv.
When
His name is Marv
gets electrocuted and turns into a skeleton is amazing.
God, Home Alone, I feel like that just wanted to be an animated movie. I like Home Alone 2.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
I want to say, so Home Alone 1, like, of course, there's all, guys kind of break in, all the gags and stuff, and they, like, fall and get hurt a little bit and stuff. But it's nothing, like, too serious. Like, when they're trying to break into the house in Home Alone 1, like, Marv gets hit in the head with, like, 3 bricks from, like, 2 stories up. He's not, like, getting back up from that, I don't think.
That was, honestly, it went on for so long, it started to become funny. Because he just kept throwing bricks and hitting him in the head, and you're like, oh my god, stop.
How is this man not dead? Those two should be dead several times over. My god.
There was also, I want to also say, when Marv falls in the hole and he says, "Wow, what a hole." That was amazing.
I just want to say, when you opened the podcast with that, it did not occur to me that was a reference to Home Alone 2. I thought you were just being your merry old self, Joe.
Yeah. He oh man. Macaulay Culkin really tries to kill them. And so they're climbing down a rope from the top of the building, and he just lights the rope on fire. It's like soaked in kerosene and just lights it on fire.
I love the exchange there. It's just like, hey, Joe Pesci, what's that smell? Well, it's kerosene. But why would anyone cover a rope in kerosene? It's like, it's really? Mystery.
Yeah, that's probably like the Home Alone part is like the only part I think that's like actually kind of entertaining. It's still not.
And the worst part is, the worst part about the Home Alone part of the movie is that, like, structurally, it makes no sense for it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like literally have to go like out of the way to make it happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's like
Also, he destroys his like uncle's house or grandparents' house or whatever it is.
Yeah. It might have worked better. Like, it might have felt more cohesive if he booby-trapped the toy store, but then, like, you gotta deal with the ramifications of he has done so much more damage to this toy store than the Sticky Bandits would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. This film isn't very good. I also have to say I hate the ending because it's like, oh, it's a Christmas movie. We have to end it. It has to be wholesome.
With a Christmas. Yeah. Yep.
And they get presents from the toy store. Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
because we all know Christmas is not about people you love. It's about consumerism.
Yes.
Well, to be fair, the ending also has his family not being horrible douchewads to him for the first time.
But that was the ending of the first Home Alone, and then they're just do the same shit again. It's like, oh, they're just gonna go back to being douchewads after Christmas is over. Fuck Home Alone 2.
Can we also talk about like how horribly mean his entire family is?
Oh yeah.
They're just
because they know he's not their kid.
Shit. Or like even the Christmas pageant where his older brother is like mocking him, right?
Yeah.
And like he's just doing like bunny ears and shit, and the entire crowd is like acting like this is the funniest thing since sliced bread. Which we all know is hilarious.
It's amazing because it's like it's so not funny. It's like no one would ever laugh at it. They'd just be like, "Oh, why is he doing that?"
Yeah, they'd probably be like, "Man, that kid's being a dick."
Yeah,
an unfunny dick.
Hmm.
I actually get that a lot. I'm often told I have a funny dick.
With that, we're gonna. I think we should wrap up the discussion of the movie. Wait, where are your guys' concluding thoughts? Final thoughts? I don't know.
Home Alone 2, Lost New York. How Home Alone 1 has fallen. It's like if you took Home Alone 1 and like cut it up and then tried to like reassemble it, but you forgot 75% of the pieces that you cut up, and like they ended up in the trash, and you just filled it in with a bunch of garbage and hoped that no one would notice, but everybody noticed. 3 out of 10.
Damn. Mike?
So, despite this movie being one hell of a meme, and like, again, dare I say, poggers, it is so poorly made, poorly written. I will also never forgive Home Alone for starting that incredible trend of those terrible kid power kids movies like that, and like Richie Rich and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
4 out of 10. It's maybe worth laughing at, but oof.
Yeah, I thought this movie, with the exception of like the invasion stuff, is just super not entertaining. It's incredibly boring. It feels like you actually could have cut out like a solid 20 minutes and it would have been better. There's so many just like random plot elements and points that are just like, why? Yeah, it's not very fun. I'm like, it's like a 3 to a 4. It's probably a 3. It's bad.
Yeah.
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 It's bad, but I have seen more.
Yeah. All right.
Just watch Home Alone 1 instead. It's better.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I love ore. I'm out there mining every day trying to get that ore,
Or yeah, I like, I'm constantly carving up my wood to make that ore.
Oh, yeah. To go for a little boat ride in, eh?
I don't know if Mike's gonna be back. His internet's not doing too hot. All right, we'll start to wrap
I really
up.
want to believe that he's like just talking and like believe. Oh, dang, he's back.
There.
hello. My Discord is not behaving. Did the podcast already end? Or are we still here?
We're still here.
We're ending right about now. You can join in for the last little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Bangers, Bops, and Banter. We'll be back next week. We got an album and a movie.
Yeah. So the album is going to be John Mayer's live album, Where the Light Is. John Mayer live in Los Angeles. And the movie is...
So the light's in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yes.
The movie is going to be Elf. Oh, fuck, I didn't look up the director.
Oh, dude, it's directed by, Iron Man, Mandalorian.
Jon Favreau.
That's the spice.
Yeah, the boy who made the best movie ever, The Lion King remake. Yeah.
To be fair, Jon Favreau is like legitimately decent.
Yeah.
There is no saving The Lion King.
But you got funny man John Oliver.
Funny man John Oliver.
Funny man Seth Rogen.
Funny man Eric Andre.
Oh.
Ooh.
Funny man Donald Glover.
Ooh. Funny man.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Okay, let's stop.
I don't get why they would
this bit.
recast James Earl Jones. Like, they changed every actor except for James Earl. Whatever. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Yeah, have a good day.